I hope you all enjoyed this wonderful brunch this morning. And as you may or may not know, this is the 75th anniversary of Zonta International's Amelia Earhart Fellowship program. This program was established in 1938 in honor of Amelia Earhart, famed woman pilot and a member of Zonta. The fellowships are funded through the Zonta International Foundation, and they are awarded annually to women who are pursuing PhDs in aerospace-related sciences or aerospace-related engineering. Currently, there are 35 awards per year, each for $10,000. The money may be used for tuition, books, fees, or living expenses. When Zonta established this program in 1938, few women were pursuing graduate degrees in science and mathematics, and aerospace was still in its infancy. It took Zonta 2 years to find a single qualified applicant to receive the first fellowship. In 1948, just 8 years after that, Lucy Stefan was awarded the Amelia Earhart Fellowship. Lucy's career has been long and varied, and she received her fixed-wing aircraft pilot's license when she was 40 years old. She's also been around ballooning for 50 years now. She joined the Zonta Club of Fort Collins in 1984 and has been a member there for 29 years. Now it's my utmost honor to introduce Lucy Stefan to you.
There. Can you hear me all right? Hooray, thank you. Well, thank you for asking me to speak at your conference, and I've had a glorious time. I'm glad to be in Canon City and to see so many Zontians. I've met some friends I haven't seen for quite a while, like Beverly Augustine. Hooray. Sheila asked me to talk about being awarded the Amelia Earhart Fellowship in 1948. Do you realize that was 65 years ago? We were then just on the frontier of space exploration. And I hesitate to use the word frontier. My son is a captain on American Airlines. The Amelia Earhart Award in 1948 was $1,000, and I was very fortunate to be able to continue my studies in aeronautical engineering at the University of Minnesota. I was the only girl in the class. My mother always wondered why I had to study with boys all the time. I had several outstanding professors at that university. Professor Ackerman, who had been an outstanding engineer in Russia, Professor Ralph Upston, who had designed the only metal-clad airship, and Professor Jean Picard. And John and his wife Jeanette had made a balloon flight to 57,700 feet in 1934 in a balloon. One of the courses I took from Dr. Picard was physics of the atmosphere. He often related stories of ballooning. Following my graduate studies, I became interested in the field of lighter-than-air systems. I was a member of the technical committee of the American Institute of Astronautics and Aeronautics on lighter-than-air systems. I made my first gas balloon flight in Philadelphia in 1954 in an old Navy surplus balloon using the coal gas from the gas mains in Philadelphia. And as we got near the end of that flight, the balloon was sort of floppy and we hit a gust of wind and it shook it, and all the soot of the years came out of the balloon, covered the basket, covered our faces. We had just taken out chicken salad sandwiches. And not only that, but it created a big black cloud. And the crew following us on the ground thought we were on fire and that we surely would perish. My husband in that crew thought, now who will take care of the children? That was the only thought. I have made 3 flights, well, they're spectacular flights, over the Swiss Alps in a gas balloon using hydrogen. In Europe, they don't have a source of helium like we have in the United States. And to fly over the Eiger, the Monk, and the Jungfrau in a balloon is truly a unique and memorable occasion. We landed in Germany twice, in Italy once, and the gendarmes came out to meet us when we landed and asked why our passports weren't stamped at the border. But once they realized that we had flown over the border in a balloon, they were impressed and generally took us out to dinner. There is no way to steer a balloon, and unlike an airship, which is maneuverable. The balloon is the only flight vehicle I know where a butterfly can pass you up. There is no question that science and technology are the most powerful forces for change in the world today. What was once science fiction when I was in school, 65 years ago, are now computers and satellites and space stations. The scientific and technical transformations taking place now will alter every aspect of our lives. I'm still very interested in aeronautics and attended a conference on aviation in Riga, Latvia, in 2002. And in 2009, I was inducted into the Ballooning Hall of Fame. And, I plan to be around when the landing on Mars takes place. Amelia Earhart was a member of the Zonta Club of Boston, and Zonta was the only club outside of aviation to which she belonged. And in memory of her, the Zonta Fellowship was established, as Sheila mentioned, in 1938. And Zonta has awarded 1,403 fellowships, which have amounted to $8.3 million. And it now awards 35 fellowships every year at $10,000 apiece. I'm very proud to belong to an organization like Zonta that recognized the importance of science and technology back in 1938 by offering the Amelia Earhart Fellowship. And being awarded the fellowship was a very important part of my lifelong interest in aviation and high adventures. I will always be grateful to my friends in Zonta. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to see if I have some questions.
She didn't want to answer any, but I said, you are a wealth of information. We're going to get this out of you. Kathy.
Would you tell us about some of the famous people
that you have interacted with through your career?
Well, I had some interesting ballooning friends. My favorite one was Malcolm Forbes. And we had a trip to China, and he flew his balloon over an area where the Chinese didn't really want him to fly, but he was able to talk his way out of it. But it's interesting. I was associated with a company called the Balloon Works, and we manufactured hot air balloons. And a friend of mine was looking for a balloon to buy, and we were offering them for sale at a display in Indianola, Iowa, and this person ahead of him bought 6 balloons at one time. They were expensive, 10,000, 12,000 a piece. And Dewey said, "Who is this man that bought 6 of them?" And they said, "It's Malcolm Forbes." And so he said, "Well, they're good enough for Malcolm Forbes, I'll buy one." And so that's how he began to buy Balloon Works balloons. Yes.
Yeah, Lucy, what was the one situation where you thought, uh-oh, this is it, I'm done? And did you have any?
Any situation?
Scary.
Scary. They're all scary. Until you're, every landing is unique. You have to find a safe place to land, and it's becoming very difficult because of all the housing being built now. What used to be a nice, beautiful green field is now covered with houses next to each other, so that there's no place to land. It's a very difficult problem now in Albuquerque, which is having their fiesta right now. And they have to go further and further away from Albuquerque to find a landing place. But you have to worry about sudden gusts of wind and sudden storms coming up. I lost two very dear friends 2 years ago in a Gordon Bennett race in Europe. Dr. Carol Davis and Dick Abruzzo were in a gas balloon race, the Gordon Bennett race, and they got caught in a storm and went down in the Baltic Sea and were lost. And they were both superb balloons. It just a sudden storm came up and caught them, and they lost control. And it can happen.
Let's see, Amanda?
So I have some nieces who are very interested in science, and they're in 5th grade, and I know it's going to get harder and harder for them to continue on that path as they get older and get into high school and other distractions come up. What advice would you give to young girls who want to pursue science?
Stay in science, by all means. I think it's the only way to go. I think everybody is going to have to learn more and more about science and technology. The whole world is going to revolve around it.
Susan?
I was just going to say you could come to Southeast Colorado. We've got lots of open areas.
Oh, I noticed that as I drove down from Fort Collins.
The only problem is we might have storms or lots of
Wind.
I'm just curious, how long ago, or have you recently been in a balloon? And if not, how long ago was it that was the last time you flew?
I flew probably about 5 years ago, and now I'm afraid of making a hard landing and breaking a bone. I'm 90 years old now, and I have to kind of take it easy. But I guess I would go up again on a nice calm day and make sure that it's going to stay calm all day. I only go up early in the morning when the winds are very light, or about 4 o'clock in the afternoon when they've died down again. And then it's safe. And I just had a call last week from my pilot in Germany, and he wants to know when I want to fly the Alps again. So, that'd be fun.
Rachel?
As being a member in Zonta, what service project do you remember doing that you enjoyed the most?
You've enjoyed
I've been on the Amelia Earhart Scholarship Committee in every club that I've been in. And I have not been in the Fort Collins Club 29 years. It's the total of being a member of Zonta that long. I've been in the Minneapolis Club, the Boulder Club, and I think the Melbourne Beach Club. But so that wasn't total, not all in Fort Collins. Hasn't been that lucky, you know. But this has been a great conference, Sheila. Did you organize it?
Yeah, I mean, and the host club down
The
here.
host
Yeah,
club,
they've done
it
great.
needs to be congratulated.
They do, that's for sure.
Thank you.
One more.
Oh,
What other Amelia Earhart Fellows do you stay in touch with?
I really don't stay in touch with any of them. I was up to about a year ago, but I don't really stay in touch with them.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I really would. When I get time, I'll get around to it. I have these 5 children, and besides the airline